There's a lot out there to be worried about. Market volatility, a rising interest rate environment, but there's something a little bigger, and I think that's pressing, that I think we should be a little bit more concerned about as Americans, as investors. Right now, as of 2023, every dollar that our country brings in treasury receipts, and this is in a pretty good economy right now, every dollar is going to pay for four things: Medicare, Medicaid, interest on our debt, and Social Security. When you think of the things that we really have to concern ourselves with, when you're talking about a grand economy like we've got right now, we are currently surpassed our GDP, almost pushing $30 trillion for 2023. That's a problem. We've effectively raised our interest rate on our government credit card to approximately 5%. And when the government does that, the majority of the interest that is bearing down on the largest deficit and the largest debt in history, that becomes a little bit of a situation where we need to concern ourselves. It's wildly unpopular to talk about this, which is why you don't hear a lot about this in the mainstream media. You don't hear a lot of politicians talking about cutting back spending or raising taxes. But there's a bigger systemic problem that we need to concern ourselves, because right now, in 2023, taxes are still on sale. Taxes are the lowest historically, especially generationally. They're at effective rates that we will probably never see again, and we probably never should. The fact of the matter that we're not continuing to trim back our spending, we're not doing anything to curb some of that excess fat. We need to do some elimination on our own, as investors, as Americans. That's the only thing that we can do effectively. You know what your marginal and your effective tax rates are now for your personal situation. We have no idea what that's going to look like over the next 10 and 15 years. If you go back in history, and it's not that far back, historically speaking, we've seen 50% marginal tax rates. We've seen 70%. We've seen them upwards of 90%. So when you think about the fact that right now our highest marginal tax bracket is still below 40%, there are things that you and your advisor should be considering right now to help mitigate some of those future tax risks. And if you think you don't have some problems, you need to sit with an advisor, a tax specialist of any kind, somebody who focuses on mitigating those future risks. And you need to really drill down, because I'll tell you right now, there's a very good chance that you have too much money in your tax deferred bucket with respect to what's in your 401k, your IRA. There's probably more in there than you need to have, because later on in life, when you're 73 and 75 years old, and you need to start pulling that money out and you're forced to take that money out, you don't know what your effective tax rate will be at that time, especially if it's 10 or 15 or 20 years from now. You know what your tax bracket is, you know what your tax rates are right now. We have no idea what our partner, the US government, we have no idea what that's going to look like in the future. So with respect to doing yourself a favor, my suggestion is get with one of your advisors, get with a tax specialist, get with somebody who's actually taken the time, gone waist deep in and immersed themselves with some of these tax mitigation strategies. Because if you're not talking to your advisor or your CPA about these kind of strategies, it's going to be detrimental to your future. My name is Tom Grimm. I'm with Admiralty Wealth Management. Check out our website. It's iretirewell.com. Please visit us at any time, and we'd love to book an appointment with you. Thanks.